All right. I'm going to go ahead and start. There'll be people coming in. I'm sorry, I'm just getting out of practice, so forgive me as I take my whistle off, and I forgot to bring Gatorade, so don't tell anybody I'm drinking a Coke. So this meeting is being recorded, so if you do something funny, I will make fun of you. We will take that opportunity to share it with everybody we possibly can. I will tell you there were some funny pictures from the Cobb information session last night that maybe we'll share one day, but we'll see. So anyway, so we're going to go over, I'm going to share my screen with you guys in just a second. I will be monitoring the chat, but I will not get to it until probably the end. So hopefully I will answer all those questions in advance. And forgive me just a second here. I'm going to try and clean my camera. I've got a little smudge on my head that I don't think's the filter. All right. So here we go. So we've got, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, where are we? Here we go. We'll start this slideshow. Play from the start. All right. So I got a little carried away with my with the little background motion and stuff. So I apologize. It's going to be a little distracting in the beginning, and then I figured out how to stop it later on. So I'm trying to get better at PowerPoint, because everybody loves PowerPoint. So anyway, so we're going to go over basically normally I send out little segmented videos to the kids who played Elite last year, and this is the information that Elite needs to know, and the information that Premier needs to know, National needs to know, whatever. But this year, because there's so many questions about tryouts, we're just doing one big tryout session. And so I apologize that it some of you guys are going to sit through some stuff you've heard before, but I promise there's stuff in here you have not heard before. So if you feel free to cook dinner or whatever while we're doing, just turn the volume up and just kind of listen along. I will tell you when there's stuff on the screen that you really need to be looking at. So I am going to go ahead and see if I can get this puppy started here, figure it out. So for those of you who are new to this, I know information sessions have been put out on social media and everything. So we've got some people here who have probably never participated in something like this. And by the way, I cannot right now, right this second, see the chat. So give me just a second. Let me see if I can get the chat back in here. I won't see it. Sorry, I just won't be able to see it until later. So we'll get back to it. But anyway, we have 5 locations. This information session is for our Forest Park location. That is 90% of this information is specifically related to Forest Park. The information for Central Georgia, Cobb, North Atlanta, and Rome is different in large part than what we do in Forest Park. And so there are information sessions for those. If you're Rome or Central Georgia, Matt and EJ will get in touch with you guys with the information that you need. If you're Cobb, we had that information session last night. It has been recorded, and we'll put it up on the website next Wednesday. And then if you are North Atlanta, which is our Brookhaven location, that Zoom meeting will be May 15th. And then this meeting and that meeting will be put on the website on next Wednesday with all the information that we're going over. So we're not putting that information on the website now because people will scroll through it. They'll see half of what they need to see, then they'll disappear and they'll get incorrect information and half the information, all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of save it until we can talk about it. So anyway, there are 4 levels of teams in our South location. We have Elite, Premier, Elite, National, Premier, and ATL in that order as far as the amount of travel, the amount of expectations on the athlete, that sort of thing. So our elite level looks like this, and you can read this. I'm not going to read it off to you, but our elite teams are typically our top teams. These are usually the athletes that are the most engaged. These are the athletes that practice 3 times a week, and then they want more. They're doing the performance training, they're doing everything, and they still want more. And so that's what our elite teams typically look like. They do travel a little bit more, and they play higher level tournaments. Our elite teams, last 2 sentences here are pretty important. Elite playing time is not guaranteed. You earn it at practice. Practice time is guaranteed. Playing time is not guaranteed. We don't talk about playing time at the elite level. I assure you those coaches are playing to win, and if in any way possible your daughter can help them win, she's going to play. And then the elite teams get 3 practices per week, plus our performance training. So our national teams are exactly like our elite teams, except they travel a little bit less. These are still kids that are a little bit crazy, that want more and more and more, but for whatever reason, they're not able to travel on the elite schedule. sometimes kids who do other sports play at the national level, but it is still high level play, and we do still seek out some of the best competition for our national teams. Our national athletes at the older level participate in our recruiting program just like our elite level athletes do. Again, playing time at the national level is not guaranteed. 3 practices per week, plus performance training. So, and I know I'm running through some of this stuff. So some of you guys that have some additional questions, when we get to the end and you want to know a little bit more about some of these things, there will be a big question and answer session. So don't panic if something doesn't make sense to you at this point. So for our premier teams, those are our regional teams. Those are typically multi-sport athletes who just don't have the time. They can't practice 3 days a week, but these teams are typically pretty good. And these girls, a lot of them do eventually end up playing at the elite level as they get a little bit older. Playing time at the premier level is what we call fair but not equal. That means that typically during pool play, everybody's going to play. And then when it comes to bracket time, we're going to play to win. And so there, you definitely can tell everybody's going to play, but not everybody's going to play all the time. Not everybody's going to play equally. These guys practice 2 times per week. You can sign up for additional performance training, but it is additional. It's an a la carte piece to your tuition. So, and then we have the ATL, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Those are the teams that play in the Atlanta area. That's why it's called ATL, for the ATL Atlanta area. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. So those teams are going to practice twice a week. Playing time, and this is the biggest difference with the ATL level. Playing time at the ATL level is as even as we can possibly make it. And so you're all going to play all the time, and you know, nobody gets upset about it, and you practice twice a week. And it is definitely, think of it as the rec level on steroids. We put in professional coaches that know what they're doing, and this year those ATL teams are going to be master coached. So you'll get some of our elite level coaches that are running our ATL program along with our ATL coaches. So it'll be an upgrade from what we have done in the past. We're really trying to coach our coaches a little bit more. So you'll see that this year as we go through things. So here's kind of the beginning conversation. The very first thing that we have to do is we have to get our you have to find out your age group. And we always have people get this wrong, and it always creates drama. So if you can get this right, this will be a big help for us. And it's done this way. It's how old you are on July 1st of next year. So my daughter right now is 10 years old. By the time we get to July 1st of next year, she will be 11. So she will play in the 11 and under division. So that's how it works. Now, there are 2 conversations within that. That's a pretty simple formula. However old you are next July 1st, that's the age that you play. 2 conversations to go with that. There is room for 17-year-old seniors to play 17s twice. That's a conversation that you need to have with me. So if you're 17 on July 1st, but you're a senior in high school, you would play 17s twice instead of playing, anyway, you'll play 17s twice, but you need to have a conversation with me. And then the people who have birthdays in July and August, they typically can play down in age, but their graduating class is up in age. So my daughter, you know, if your birthday is July 3rd, you could play down. I'm sorry, if your birthday, whatever, July 3rd, you can play down, but your graduating class is the age above you. That's a conversation we need to have. And here's the simple answer. If you want to play in college, if that's where you think you're going, even at 12, 13s, whatever, if that's the direction you want to go, then you probably want to play your graduating class as opposed to playing your age. However, if you can't make the team you want in your graduating class, play your age group so that you can get to play more and hopefully make it the following year, move up. So pretty simple formula, but we're happy to have that conversation with you guys individually if you want to do it. So this form is what USA puts out. It's kind of, you can kind of follow it but July 1st, that's what we're looking for. This information is on our website. This is our trial schedule. And if you go to the front page of the website and you hover over 2024 tryouts and then South location, it'll bring and click on South location. It'll bring up all this information. It'll bring up the information session. It'll bring up tryout registration. It'll bring up this schedule. It's everything that we have at this point in terms of tryout information. Eventually, it will have this PowerPoint Zoom call on it, and it will have all of the literature from this meeting that we're going to talk about in a little bit. It'll have all that information on the website as well. So, so tryout schedule and the way this works this year, veterans, this is new. We've always been 90% one day, and then we've had a second day. We've kind of filled in some things and taken second looks at kids and that sort of stuff. We're one day this year. So one day tryout on 9 a.m. Friday, July 7th. We will pick all the 15 elite and 15 national teams all at the same time. It's a one-day thing. There is a makeup after that for any spots that we have open, or for any kids that had issues for whatever that day. We will fill in as we go. But it is our intent to pick 15-1, 15-2 elite, 15-1, 15-2 national on that Friday between 9 a.m. and noon. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second as far as how that works. So this schedule, in the past, we were divided. 14 and under was about 4 weeks prior to 15 and up. Now that they've moved everything to July, we're all within a period of about 10 days here. So that schedule, again, is on the website. Before we get into all the trial information, this is the thing that we do better than anybody else around. Our recruiting program is being followed by other clubs around the country. Two of the things that we use are sports recruits and Huddle. Our elite teams will have access to Huddle this season. All of our athletes in the recruiting ages will have sports recruits, and we will have a recruiting meeting for all the kids that want to participate in the recruiting program. We'll have a recruiting meeting once the teams are set and we start to get closer to the season. We'll have a recruiting meeting and talk about all of what goes on and how you do it, and what the parent responsibilities are, and what the kid responsibilities are, and what the club responsibilities are, and all of that information will come to the surface at that recruiting meeting. So that'll happen, and you'll find out more about it later on. But here's proof that it works. We had 3 18s teams this year. Of those 3 18s teams, we have about 21 kids that wanted to play in college that did at least a little bit of the recruiting process, and 17 of them are competing in college this upcoming year. So we're pretty excited. And if you look, there's there's a little bit of everything here. As far as there are, HBCUs, and we're going to go through a couple of the years here. You'll see Division I, Division II, Division III, some JUCO schools, HBCUs, high level teams. We've, in the past 4 or 5 years, we've sent kids to 5 of the top 10 programs in the country. So our kids are playing at the highest levels. At the time 2020 class went out, Penn State and UCF were both, like UCF was like number 12 or 13. Penn State was like number 2 in the country at that point. So running down through these, you'll see every Georgia college in here, from Georgia Tech to UGA to LaGrange, all of them. So our kids are getting seen. So if that's one of your criteria, if that's what you're looking at, if you're wanting to play in college, you can absolutely 100% do that here. So we just kind of wanted to show you that, just so you have an idea of what it is that we do, and how we treat our kids. And one of the biggest things that I can say about everything is that our gym is full of alumni when they get back from school. It is full of alumni when they over the summer. So our kids that are playing here and going off to college are still enjoying it. They're still playing, they're finishing, they're not quitting, they're not burned out, and they're happy. Tonight, my 12s practice, I had 2 of our alumni that were like, hey, we're back in town, can we come in? And I've got a 3rd alumni that's going to be coming in next week. So I mean, they're filing in pretty consistently. So this location is the Tsunami Center in Forest Park, Georgia. We talked about that a little bit earlier. So season fees, we're going to go into that in just a second here. Season fees, here's the single biggest thing, and we get this wrong every year. We don't get this wrong. Some parents get this wrong every year. Our tuition fee is everything you will pay to Tsunami, 100%. There are no additional uniform fees, no additional travel fees, no coaching fees, no anything extra. Our tuition is exactly what you owe to Tsunami. The only thing that's not covered in our tuition is your family's travel and lodging. We allow you guys to go stay together, and if you want to be a Ritz family or a Motel 6 family, great. Whichever version of that is you, that's great. But other than that, everything is covered in our tuition. I had a 12-year-old that wanted to play with me last year. Mom called and was like, hey, I'm sorry, it's just too much money. She went to another club. She called me about 3 weeks after that. She was like, the other club didn't put in their travel fee and their uniform fee, and now I'm $1,000 over where you were. So make sure you're comparing apples to apples. if you are, trying to compare the economics of clubs. We are very affordable for what you get, very affordable for what you get. So it's just want to make that information. Two other things that are important now with the July tryout, instead of having a 4 to 5 month time to pay off the tuition, you will now have a 9 to 10 month tuition window, because we can start paying in July and finish in April, or almost all the way to July for our elite teams that are elite national teams that are continuing. So big difference with a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 month payment plan as far as bringing the affordability, the value in a little bit better. And then the other thing is our 13 to 18 elite, and I'm sorry if this is your first time here, I'm throwing a ton of information at you, but our elite level teams, 13 through 18, your tuition includes AAU nationals or USA nationals. It's paid for at the beginning. Your season does not end at regionals. Your season ends at nationals. That's for all of our 13 through 18 elite, and it is all of our 15 through 18 national teams. Your season ends at nationals. We believe that if you're playing 15s through 18s at the national or elite level, you are trying to play in college, and we're going to give you the best opportunity to go see as many college coaches as you can. That's either if you get a bid and go to USAV, or you don't get a bid and you go down to Orlando and play. So a lot of information there. I know there's stuff blowing up in the chat over here. I will get to all of that in just a little bit, but let's go ahead and go into what we're looking at. For those of you who are here last year, nothing is changing dramatically. We're a couple of $100. I think like 250 is the most we're actually going up on any particular division. But our elite level pricing is here, so you can see what we're up against. And so I'm going to go over this in just a second, the tryouts, but our season is going to be the same length it has been before. We're going to do all kinds of stuff in July and August, but you're paying for that October 31st through the end of the season, whether that's regionals or nationals. So that's what this pays for. So we're not jacking our prices up and then running team practices all through the summer. We want you to go play high school ball, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. So here's our national level. I do know that we have one issue with 11 national, 11 ATL. I think the numbers are just switched, but I don't want to say that until Dunn gets back from Korea and he and I can go back over the budget one more time. We've got one goof there. You'll see 11 ATL is actually more expensive than 11 national, and that's certainly not the case, but everything else should be correct. Our premier prices are here. And I'm going to run through these, and then I'll go back through them when we start the question and answering. I'll run back through this pricing again, so you'll be able to see it. And all of this will be on the website again on Wednesday. So those are ATL prices. All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right, so let's go here. All right, so this is where we start to get into some of the old stuff, some of the new stuff, when we actually start talking about tryouts. I'm going to drink a little something here because I'm a little parched. So when we start talking about actual tryouts, the first question I always get asked is, what level do I try out for? We always say try out for the highest level that you would like to play, and we set up our tryouts in that manner. If your kid is a 15, the elite tryouts are first. It's actually the elite and national at the same time. Then the premier tryouts, then the ATL tryouts. And so if you would consider playing on a national team, come to the national tryout. The worst that can happen is we will say no, and then we will invite you back to the premier tryouts. Your registration covers you for all the different levels. So if you try out elite and make elite, great. No big deal. If you try out for elite national, don't make it, you get invited back to premier. You do not have to re-register for tryouts. You've already registered for tryouts. You've already got the t-shirt. All that stuff is covered. So we suggest you try out for the highest level that you would actually like to play. Now, there certainly is some sense in there. My kids never played before. Never touched the ball. You're probably not going to make our 17 elite or national program. But other than that, at 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, man, I can't tell you how many kids we take just on potential, just on athleticism. So if you're, my daughter's not good enough, let us determine that. You come out and give us a shot. To that end, we're going to be running stuff in May and June in the gym, a ton. We're going to be giving evaluations during all of those sessions so that you'll have an idea where you stand before tryouts ever begin. So that question of what level do I try out for will partially be answered in May and June if you are in our gym. So We already answered, if you come back to a different level, don't register again. When do we announce teams? So the way our tryouts work is, while we are there, we will offer you a spot on that team. And so before you leave, we're going to hand you an envelope that says, congratulations, you made a team, or I'm so sorry, please come back to the next level. We don't have a spot for you here tonight. And so that's going to happen right there. Now, this is new. This part is new for all of our returners. It's something that's completely different. And I'm still trying to get confirmation from the region, but this is what I think is supposed to happen. When you will actually sign a contract at tryouts for that season. So when you are at tryouts, you need to come prepared to accept or not accept. If I get offered this team, I'm going to accept the spot. Know that before you walk in. So if you, in the past, you had 4 or 5 days to go away and talk about it and think about it and all that kind of stuff, that is not the case any longer. If you choose to go somewhere else, we can choose to offer that spot to someone else right away. So, it's obviously something will happen on an individual basis, but one of the big complaints from a lot of the clubs was they have a hard time filling out their teams because everybody's out trying everywhere else. And so all of a sudden, they're imploding on individuals. Now, we're a large enough club that's a little different for us, but some of the smaller clubs were really struggling to make some teams because the tryout rule was really hampering their ability to make teams. So anyway, so we'll announce teams right away. We will ask you to commit that night. We can have a conversation aside from that, and we will certainly put a lot more information once I get confirmation from the region. We'll put a lot more information on our tryout pages, but that's where we are right now. So you'll need to know before you come in the gym what you are thinking. And then we talked about this earlier. Tryouts are 1 day now. They're not 2 days. There's 1 day with a makeup, but everything is 1 day. When is the first payment due? Right away. My understanding is first payment is supposed to be taking, and again, trying to get confirmation, but our first payment is supposed to be in July. So then we can run July and August, September, whatever. And registration for tryouts is open now. So please, please, please go ahead and register. Don't wait. When will I meet my coaching team? You will meet them at tryouts. The coach of each team at each level is working tryouts. We have a couple of coaches that are, maybe that's different, men's national team coaches that maybe they're off with, in Istanbul or whatever. But for the most part, your coach and your teammates will all be there at the same time, and you will see them and be able to interact with them at that point. So after tryouts, one of the biggest questions has been, one of the two biggest questions has been, what happens in July and August? Are we starting then? Are we not starting then? We're not starting right away in July and August. I can assure you that some of the coaches are greedy and I want to win and I'm going to get my team in the gym some, but we're not going to start Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday practices 3 nights a week for 2.5 hours with workouts. We're not going to do it. We want you guys to be able to go to summer camps. We want you guys to be able to participate on your high school teams. We say this 1,000 times. You're not going to have a 10-year club reunion or a 25 club reunion. Ma'am?
Come back in here.
Give me just a second here. Sorry. Sorry, I thought that was for me. So anyway, so we want you to play on your high school team. A lot of our coaches coach high school. We coach middle school. We coach school ball because we enjoy it. It's a different model, and it's fantastic. Those are the kids you've grown up with. So our July and August will be a supplement to high school, just like it has been for the last 20 years. We are not trying to take over for anybody's high school program. So your first practice will officially be whenever it would have been last year. So 14 and under, we'll start somewhere in early October, and then 15s and up, we'll start when the high school season is over. Now, in that interim, we will definitely get you guys in the gym. We will not wait for 3 months to get you in the gym, but it will not be contrary to high school. It will be in support of the high school programs. I hope you guys can understand that. And then, so the official joining date this year is September 1st. So last year, once tryouts were over, you got an email from us that said accept your assignment. That email will come September 1st now. So you should already be in the system. You're already paying everything, and then you'll accept the assignment on September 1st. And that's kind of the final date. Or the first official date, however you want to put it. And so we get this question: how do I try out for multiple clubs? It's going to be tough to do. I say this for me and against me, or for us and against us. Find out where you want to play. Go there first. If that doesn't work out the way you want, then you start chasing. If that does, If you guys could mute yourselves again, I'd appreciate that. Figure out which club you want to play with, your first choice, and go there first. If that doesn't work, then get on the phone and start calling your second choice, trying to get in the gym with them. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the beast at this point. But if you are in the gym with us May and June, you will know where you stand with us. And I would say, if we're your first choice, you'll know. And so the end of this thing is talking about get in the gym, in May and June, May and June, May and June. And we will give you all the feedback that you can possibly want. So here's the second biggest question that I get. I'm out of town during trial. It's the high school dead week. Everybody in the world plans their vacations at the end of club season and before high school season starts. And unfortunately, the Southern region decided, hey, that's a great time to put our trial. Terrible, terrible, terrible decision. Unfortunately, nothing we can do about it. So I'm out of town during tryouts. What do I do? We're going to give you guys the opportunity to sign up in advance. Get in our gym in May and June, sign up in advance, and then we will place you on a team based on what we have seen for those of you who have played this past year, using that information plus what we see in May and June. We will place you on a team without you coming to tryouts. So I would say 99.9% of the athletes that have played for us this season will be given a spot, and you will know well in advance if you're that 0.009%, 0.001%, you will know in advance. We will have that conversation with you. There will be no surprises. So we will place you on a team. The one thing that I will caution is we'll put that on our website. There'll be a form that you fill out where you'll put your kid's face up there. You'll put what position, what team she's played, what level of experience. If she's played with our club, you'll put our information. If you play with somebody else, you put the information up there and put all the information down, where you're going to be and why you can't be at tryouts and all that kind of stuff. And put that on there. And then we will get in touch with you after that, and we will put you on a team during tryouts. We will make that work. If at all possible, or as I said, we will have a conversation with you in advance. The one thing that I ask that you not do is don't plan on going to somebody else's tryouts and using this as your way to trial with us. That is an automatic no if we find out, and we will certainly we'll find out because somebody will tell on you. That's just the way it works. So please only use that if you've already got a vacation. I got probably 125 emails when I first sent out the dates that said I'm going to be in Istanbul. I'm going to be in, we've already got summer camp. We've already spent money on all those kinds of things, and we understand that, and we know. So this year we're accommodating those kids who are out of town and can't make it. We have a system that we will be able to utilize to get them on teams, but it will require you signing up in advance, will require you filling out that form, and then us having conversations. So it'll be a lot of work. It'll be a ton of work, but we're happy to do it if you're happy to do that as well. All right, so let's see here. I know a lot of information. All right, so we talked about this. What's the best way to get a head start on tryouts, train for tryouts, positions, camps? We will also be running our impact session or invite sessions, which are for our different divisions, like our elite invites, our national invites, which are for all the kids who played at that level, and plus kids that we want to invite in. Our issue is that this season we have 52 teams that are continuing at nationals. 52 is a ton of teams. That's a lot of kids that are already in the gym Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So to run an additional thing to get them in the gym, it's a lot of volleyball. We're going to do it, but you're going to have conversations with your coach about which ones you come to and which ones you don't come to and that sort of thing. So, but this is how you get seen in the Tsunami gym is train for tryouts, positionals, camps, invites. And at each of those things, we'll be giving evaluations, and those evaluations will get put on the spreadsheet for those of you guys who are not going to be at trial. So it's a big, complicated process, but we're gonna make it work. But that's how you get seen, and that's how you find out where you stand before we ever get there. So this practice schedule is tentative, but it is consistent with what we've done in the past, and we fully anticipate it will continue. Our elite and national teams will be Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. They will practice 3 times a week for anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes to 2.5 hours. There are days that there's positional training. There's days there's master's coaching. And so we're 2-hour practices, but plus or minus 15 minutes is kind of the way that works usually. Our premier teams should be Sundays and Wednesdays. Ignore the 14-1 premier thing. I forgot to delete that. That was for something else. And then our ATL team should be right now they're Mondays and Wednesdays. They're probably going to be Mondays and Wednesdays. That's probably where we're going to be. And then Ignore Select, that's a thing we do at another location that's an in-house league. So don't go ahead and cancel everything that you're doing based on this. But if you're signing up for new stuff and you want to play on an elite team, try not to schedule anything Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, because that's probably when we're going to have those practices. All right, so let's see here. Oh, did I go backwards? I must have gone backwards. All right, here we go. Travel and housing for our teams that play. We'll go over this a lot more as we get into the season, but we book all the housing and then you guys just call and take the rooms out of the room block. Again, we book the housing at kind of a middle of the road hotel. If you want to stay higher end or lower end, you're welcome to do that, but we will provide you with housing at each of the tournaments that you have the option to sign up for. There are state of play events. There's nothing we can do about those. The tournament director or USA Volleyball will tell you which hotel you have to stay in, and here we go. That's what we're going to do. And we, at our club, we have our athletes stay with their families. We're not putting 4 athletes in a room. If parents want to get together and do that, that's fine. But it's not something that we're going to take on that liability. And quite frankly, as a parent of one of the athletes here, I like having my wife and kids in the room with me. And so it's kind of, when we travel, we'll stay together. So kind of what we do. Tournament schedule. There will be, when we posted this meeting, there will be a sheet on there that says what each team will do, and it'll give a list of the suggested tournaments. I can tell you, like, our national teams play in 2 national qualifiers at the older age groups, 15 through 18s. They're going to play in Orlando and Big South. Our younger teams are going to play in 1 qualifier at the national level. They're going to play in Big South. Our elite teams, 13s to 15s, Big South and Orlando. I'm sorry, 13s and 14s, 12s, 13s, 14s, Big South, Orlando. 15s to 18s are going to go Big South plus 2 additional qualifiers that are outside of here. So it's a big spreadsheet that'll have all the information in it. It'll be on the website when we post this next Wednesday. And then we are posting all of our social media, all of our coaches on social media. It has already started at our Cobb location. It will start as soon as Dunn gets back for our South location. So if you do not already follow us, you need to follow us on social media. And there it is, Tsunami V-Ball on Instagram, Facebook, Tsunami BBC, and then we're on TikTok and our website and all that kind of good stuff. So, and on our website, you can sign up for our newsletters. We send a bunch of this information out in that. That's a lot of talking. These are your contacts, the people you really need when you're here. You need Heather Stanton, info@tsunamivolleyball.com. That goes to myself, that goes to Dunn, and that goes to Heather. Heather is our lead admin at our South location. You guys that are new probably haven't seen her as much because she's been working out of the house. There's no reason to drive here, but Heather is a Tsunami mommy now for about 10 years, maybe even a little bit longer. So anyway, so she's been with us for a long, long time. I live in Marietta, so I'm in our Cobb office a good bit, but I'm also out of our South. I coach at our South facility. My child plays here at our South facility. And then Don Hahn is our coaching director here. He's not on here, but info@ does get to him. So there's all of that. And that is the end of that. I'm going to escape out of here. I'm going to get back into the chat and see if I can read through some of the chat questions first and answer those, and then I will take questions. We are at 8:33, so we are finished with the stuff that I've had to go through as far as the PowerPoint is concerned. So if you're running out the door, you're good to run out the door now. Other than that, I will read these questions and answer these questions, and then I'll take questions from the gallery. So I appreciate you guys jumping on here. Okay, so answer those first 2 questions there. You'll be giving evaluations during which sessions? We're going to try and give evaluations during every single session. It will be difficult to do, and we're going to do better at some than others, but it is our intention to give evaluations at all of the May and June sessions. Now, if you're on a team currently that is continuing to play, if you're on one of those 52 teams that's still competing, your coach will be giving you evaluations, and then we'll share that evaluation with us as from your practices, as well as any camps or clinics that you come to. We got to the country, already talked about that. Why are volleyball shorts so short? Can you give options for longer shorts, such as 5 inches? So it is a standard for all of the brands to make a 2.5 inch short. And that is just kind of our standard that we go with. you are welcome to get the longer shorts. We're happy to put the logo on them for you. It's just not part of the uniform package because it's a logistical nightmare to try and get 5-inch shorts for you and 2.5-inch shorts for you and that sort of stuff. So we're standard with a 2.5-inch short. That's what you get. But we are happy to put our logo on a longer short if you would like to provide them for us. So hot mic, I guess I'm screaming. Sorry, hope that's not the case. Yes, the week after July 4th is 5 on vacation. If we're playing nationals in Chicago and our flight is back until July 7th, how will this work for trials? So if you are on our teams that are competing at USAV Nationals that are up until the last stinking minute, it's okay. You will be on one of the ones that'll fill out the form saying you're not going to be there or you're going to be late and you want a spot, and we will put you on a team. And so we'll have that conversation with you guys. So not too worried about that. Are there any violations for high school players to practice with the club before the high school season ends? No, it is 100% legal for your high school kids to be in our gym training at any time they want to. And we're happy to have them in here. The thing that we will try and work around high school coaches as much as possible. And most of them are very willing to work with us at this time of year when we're still training for nationals and they're starting preseason. Most of your high school coaches will accommodate us just like we accommodate them in July and August. So we've got a pretty good relationship with most of our coaches around here. All right. When you say, man, Gene, you mean they train for tryouts and clinics? Yes, my daughter's doing privates now. Would it be best to do group clinics as well? The private lessons with our coaches are great. You just need to make sure that they are aware that you are trying out and that we want to be sure we get evaluations from those coaches as part of your private lesson. So that's something you'll need to talk to your coach, the private lesson coach about. Are positionals only for current Tsunami players? No, they are absolutely for people outside the organization. When this coach doesn't return, it'll be, I think he's gone for like another week. Can you reshare the slide for practice days by team level? Yes. Give me 1 second here. And all right, so let me go back to, I don't know if it'll let me have the chat up at the same time. I'm still sharing the screen, correct? So I can still go, here we go. See if it'll let me shrink this screen a little bit here. I know we always have people ask for this screen. So I'll run through the 4 prices and then we'll go to the practice schedule. So I'll get to you guys for all of that. Can you post payments again? Yes. How many 14U teams do we plan on having per category? So at 14 and under, it is our goal not to cut anybody. What we anticipate having is 14-1 Premier, 14-1 Elite, 14-2 Elite, 14-1 National, 14-2 National, 14-1 and 2 Premier, 14-1 and 2 ATL. That's our intention. And then if we need to make more teams, we will make more teams. So there we go. So based on the cost, can we try out for a particular team? For example, ATL only? Yes. When you register for tryouts, you can select what level of team that you want to try out for, and then you'll only show up for that tryout. If you want to play ATL, that's the last tryout in that time frame, and so you just show up for the ATL teams, and then we're good to go. So join late. Can you share the via email? No, I will not send out the PowerPoint. We'll be posting it on posting everything online. The information will be online on Wednesday. How much are the practice sessions? So each of those things will be priced differently. The practice for the teams that are continuing is included in their tuition. So that's not that. For we're super affordable as far as our training for tryouts and all that kind of stuff. All the pricing is on our website. With the registrations for them, you go under, I think it's training tab. There's a ton of information on there as far as registration and when they're offered and that sort of thing, and the prices are on there. But they are not super expensive. It is not our intent to make them super expensive. All right. Okay. Okay, great. I'll come back to that one. Winter, May, and June session. All the May and June sessions are on our website right now. We are adding the invite sessions still, but we have our basic camps and clinics already on the website under the training tab. On the trial sheet, it asks for players to input a position. How does a player put a position if she hasn't played? There should be like an unknown or a not known or a no position tab. If not, I will get that fixed. Let me make a note right here. Position on registration. There should be a no position tab. make sure I get that fixed if it's not there right now. I don't know, it would be only one 18s team. No, we would like to, we would have as many 18s teams as we could possibly make. It is our anticipation to have two, because we had three 17s teams, and usually we'll take 12 at 17s. At 18s, we usually take about 14 kids. So because there's always something that happens, as far as committing early or prom or whatever. And so we pack our 18s teams a little bit higher. So we should have two 18s teams this upcoming season. Will you still be at the same facility this year? So yes and no. For those of you who don't know, Marta has come in and has taken the building via eminent domain. We are still in the building as we are in the process of building a new facility. So we're not exactly sure the overlap of those dates yet. One part of Marta says we got to be out yesterday. One part of Marta's like, oh, you're good. And so we're kind of waiting to see how all that happens. But we're going to be here one way or another. We've got 3 or 4 high schools we can work with. We've got, some opportunities here. So that's not something we've put out publicly until today. But we're good. We're building a new 12-court facility, hoping to break ground sometime really, really soon. So we'll be giving more information on that as we go. So we're interested in national teams. You can sign up for national clinics, camps, training. We played Premier previously. Yes. So if you're signing up for something you're afraid you're too high of a level, when you come in, we will tell you if you're too high of a level. We're not going to kick you out of the camp, but we'll say, hey, the next time you probably need to sign up for Premier, or hey, you need to sign up for Elite. You're doing, you need to be playing at a higher level. So we will give you that feedback. That's part of what we do. So here we go. All the coaches for the teams announced ahead of time, or will it not be until trials? You will know all of the coaches before we get there. We're trying to get all of those out in the next 2 weeks. So you'll absolutely know your coach before trials. What clinics do you recommend us to attend in May and June? She is in middle school season, August through October. Will this be an issue if she makes it on the team? The middle school season is not a problem at all. I would sign up for everything May and June that you can possibly get in that looks like it makes sense for her. If she makes it on the team, go play middle school. We want you to go play middle school. As a matter of fact, some of our board members coach middle school. So you're good. Yes, still sharing the screen. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. The uniforms include shoes. At the elite and national teams, 13 and up, uniforms do include shoes. We are now large enough that we're working with Nike on hopefully doing a custom shoe for us. That we can get in a low top and a high top. We'll have more information on that as we get a little bit closer to uniform time. If player will be 16 on July 1st, oh, you're gonna have to call me on that one. I don't remember what it is. I think July 1st you play 16s, but I'll have to ask that question. So you'll have to touch base with the region on that one, or with me, and I'll touch with the region. Is there any sponsoring or fundraisers we can do to help with payment? Yes, absolutely. We will have sponsorship information, but basically you sell spot on our website, you sell spot in the building. We've done a lousy job of it in the past. We're hiring somebody else to take care of it for us, which will make it much, much smoother. But basically your company can then you can sell those spots to a company. Even if it's your own company, you can sell those spots, and a big chunk of that money goes towards your account. The rest of it goes to put the banner up on the wall and that sort of thing. So there will definitely be fundraising opportunities there. And then we have tons of jobs within our club. We run tournaments all the time. So we've got moms who will sit and work the door, moms and dads who will work, parking and work the concession stand, and taking out the trash and cleaning up after the event and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff you get paid for. It goes off of your account. So there are lots of ways to make money within what we're doing. I'll be honest, it doesn't work offline, work around. Asking me a question about huddle and sports recruits, you'll need to reach out to me directly on that. I don't, but I'm sure there is one because I see it done all the time. What is an invite session? So an invite session is where we are only inviting a certain group of kids. It's a 14 and under session for only our premier level kids. It is a 14 and under session for only of our elite level kids. And so we send that information out to all of our kids that played 13 premier last year. Hey, you're being invited to an invite session. So it's not on the website, it's not open, or it'll be posted on the website, but it'll say only our premier kids or only our elite kids or whatever. So that's what our invite sessions is. There's no position tab. Thank you. I will get that fixed. How many 16s teams will there be? It is our intention to go 16, 1 and 2 elite, 1 and 2 national, 1 and 2 premier, 1 and 2 ATL. And then if the skill level and the positions warrant, we would make an additional 16s team at elite or national premier, whatever. But we don't do it just based on numbers. They've got to be, 3 outsides, 3 middles, 2 setters, 2 DSs, 2 right sides, whatever. They've got to be all the right positions in order to make a team before we just run and do that. Will we announce the coach and their experience for each team before a near trial? Yes. If you want to look at our Cobb Instagram, you can see we're going to be doing that same thing at our South location. Those coaches are out with their resumes and all that kind of good stuff. If you go to camps May and June, you can't be a trial and ask to be evaluated for a team during the summer sessions because you're scheduled to be out of the country. Do you still need to sign up for tryouts? Yes. Please, 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 please sign up for tryouts because that makes us reserve the trial t-shirt for you. But it also lets us, when we print out our list in tryouts, we check off, why is this kid not here? Why is this kid not here? So it makes us, it's a workaround double check for you. It's a check and balance for you to make sure that you get placed on the team. If you move, let's still be within Forest Park. Is that on the term we're trying? Yeah. We're our location we're moving to is just inside the perimeter. It is, as the crow flies, it's like 3 miles from where we are, but it's inside the perimeter and technically in College Park. It is an amazing, great place. I come from Marietta. It'll save me about 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then coming up from the south side, it'll add 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to your trip. It is not, it is a great location. It's right by Woodward Academy, for those of you guys, or close to Woodward Academy, I should say. All right, so that's that. What if you were on another continent during trial? Not your high school team, your daughter made as a 7th grader. You reach out to me directly. Let's see if we can figure out a way to get her in. What are the prices for 16s? Those are on the sheets that we've been sharing here, and that information will be back on the website when we give it out. And I'm going to the days of practice in just a second. There we go. So there your practice. Your practice days, and then what is the extended payment plan? So what we've done in the past is when you signed when you committed to a team in October, you had to give us a deposit at that point, which was anywhere from $400, $800, depending on the team that you were on. And then you had either 3, 4, or 5 monthly payments that started January 1st. So it was like January 1st, February 1st, March 1st, April 1st, whatever, until you were paid off. So this is going to be the exact same thing. It's just now it's going to start in July. So instead of having to make $800 payments, you can make $400 payments, or instead of $600, it's $300. So you'll know that information, what those payments are going to look like beforehand. All right. So I've just blazed through what is the extended payment plan through each month. Well, it's however much it takes to pay off your tuition. So if it's an ATL team that's $1,200, it's going to be whatever 10 payments of $120. If it's a $5,000 elite team, it's whatever that is divide. It's $400, $425, whatever a month. So it's whatever your amount is. There's a schedule overlap with the high school schedule. So you guys are coming in a little bit late. We've covered this. We support our high school teams. Our coaches coach high school and coach middle school. So we do not want to take away from your high school schedules. We will offer things for you guys to do in the gym, but we want to support your high school programs. We're not trying to take you away from your high school programs. All right. So I have covered all the stuff that I've covered all the stuff that I wanted to cover. Let me see if there's anything else here that I need to show you guys. Go back to, I will go back to my favorite slide just for me. So if you guys want to, if you guys have questions, you are welcome to type it up. There it is right there, 2017. So if you guys have questions you want to ask me, you are more than welcome to unmute yourself and yell it out. I am finished. For you guys that are still sticking around, you're welcome to stick around and hear this, or you're welcome to take off. I've covered all the information that is important to me. You're also can type in the thing, and I will answer the question for those. We're trying to run through these things. So our intention is to have 8 teams at every age group, plus or minus a team. So 1 and 2 elite, 1 and 2 national, 1 and 2 premier, 1 and 2 ATL. Except where we don't offer ATL teams, or at 12 and under, where they're kind of all playing where they're all playing elite, basically, because there's not a whole lot of travel except on 12-1, which is my team. All right. Can we get more info on Summer Club? So on our website is the training tab. We have, like I said, 50-something team, 52 teams still training for nationals. Those guys will be running through July. And then in July and August, we'll have a whole bunch of stuff where you guys can get in the gym that want to, but you also will have your opportunity to go to your high school season. So any open gym time in May through August. Open gym is difficult for us to schedule just because we have so many things going on. But yes, but I just don't know what that's going to look like yet. My daughter wants to try out at 2 Tsunami locations. What's your advice? Oh boy. So I would say, even if you're looking at 2 different locations, I would say realistically have a conversation with me. Give me a call and let's talk it out. Let's figure out what teams and what that location looks like versus this location as far as what we need. And then let's figure it out before we get the tryouts. So with somebody just asked directly, is this recorded? Yes, it is recorded, and I will post it on YouTube and then post that link on our website. You'll be able to go back and scroll through this thing to see, get any information that you want. Nicole, probably give me a call tonight. My phone number is all over the website. If not, shoot me an email and I'll send you my phone number and you can give me a call. And you can call me on the way home. So as soon as we get from here, I'll be driving home for about 45 minutes. So give me a call. Can I still sign up for the volleyball skills training for May, even though it is already started? Absolutely. Get your butt in the gym for sure. No question. Please include your YouTube link online if it's not already. So the YouTube link will be on our website. So all of this information plus handouts, everything will be posted next Wednesday on our website under the tryout tab. You go to tryouts, click on the location. It'll have this. If you click on South, it'll have this. It'll have the information about pricing and our practice schedule. It'll have a breakdown of what our tournament schedule looks like for each group. You're gonna have all this information on it. I just don't want to post it until all of our Zoom meetings are over, because people will not check into here and they'll get partial information and then they'll get it wrong. Okay, so anybody else have anything you want to ask me about? Feel free to yell it out if you want to type it. Okay. So I got another question about basically money, just saying, hey, it's it's still a lot of money. What do we do? There are 1,000 ways to earn money from sponsorships, from, like I said, we've got some moms who clean the gym once a week. They're, working facilities, that sort of thing. The sponsorships will be probably the easiest way to get that extra money. And I will share that information at some point on our trial page. That won't be Wednesday. That'll be a little bit later, but I will certainly get that information out to you guys. When will the form be posted if you're traveling out of the country for trials? That will not go up. I've got Heather's out of the country right now, and Amanda, who is my Cobb representative, my Cobb admin, is on vacation for a few days. So that will not be Wednesday. That will probably be the following Monday. I will try to get it up on Wednesday, but it's probably going to be the following Monday if you're going out of town. So first experience club is very helpful. Good. What else? What you got for me? Yell at me. Type it up. I will do my best to answer everything that I can. For the record, I don't like whatever kind of Coke this is. That's not so good. It's wet, but it's not very good. If I'll tell you guys that are still around, but the lady last night for the Cobb meeting was in her bathtub on her camera. It's true. It's true. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Hey, so, Jeff, the
yes, sir.
New location.
Yes, sir.
When is this new location likely to be up and running?
It will be next season. We're just not exactly sure when. We've ordered the steel, we've ordered the air conditioning, we've ordered all that kind of stuff. And we literally have the builder ready to go. Everything's ready to go. We're waiting on final authorization with College Park to go ahead and break ground. And then our builder says he can get it ready. He's like, we'll try and get it done by January. No, we're not getting it done by January, but that was the original outlook. So we anticipate some point during next season, we will be in the new facility. We will be in a separate facility until that point. And so we're just kind of waiting to see how long we can stay here. Right now, we've still got a little while, in this existing facility. So they're not kicking us out yet. So we're good to go.
That's going to be kind of like North for a little bit, kind of bouncing with a few gyms until it's ready.
So it is not our anticipation to be using, to be bounced around. So here's where we are. We've got a couple of high schools that we can work with, but if we go that route, whatever team you're with would be in that same high school the whole time. So it's not like you'll be at this school today and that school tomorrow and then the next school over there. It'll be very standard. But what we're probably going to do, there is a bunch of warehouse space around us that's empty. And so we will probably go rent 40,000 square feet for a short period of time. We're going to have to pay through the nose for it, but that's what we're going to do. And then we'll lay our flooring out. We'll probably end up, changing out the LED lights and making sure it has air conditioning and running on. So we're that's our summer project, is to figure out what we're going to have to do in December, January, whenever our time with MARTA ends here. So it's our summer project. I play basketball and volleyball. Can I do both? At the younger ages, yes. At the older ages, it starts to get a little bit more difficult because your tournament levels are they're a lot more involved in terms of traveling and in terms of just the expectations. At the elite level, it's tougher to do basketball and volleyball. You would need to have a conversation with us directly. It certainly happens, and we certainly, we want to support you in it. But it really will require conversations with your basketball coach and us to make sure that we can do it. Otherwise, you end up shortchanging your basketball team and your volleyball team, and then nobody's happy. Will the coaches of the elite national teams be experienced in coaching on a club level going forward? So all of our programs are being set up. We evolve just like every other business. We're running master coaching sessions where we're teaching our coaches. So all of our coaches are experienced. Some of them are less experienced in coaching, more experienced in playing. And that is part of the deal. I will tell you that my generation, there just aren't as many people because my generation didn't play the game the way it's played now. So the biggest obstacle to all of the clubs is finding coaches. I will tell you, there's another club here in town that has 2 coaches and like 18 teams. And those 2 coaches are the only 2 people in the gym that know what they're doing. And so it is the nature of the beast, just because it is just now getting to the point where the kids who were playing when we first started have now, they played, they went off to school, they've graduated, they're now settling down, they've had their first round of kids, and now they're looking to get involved in doing stuff. So we're just now starting to have our coaching ranks swell a little bit. And so that's the single biggest challenge. So do we have some coaches that are a little bit less experienced? Yes, absolutely. But we have master coaching, we have positional training, we have all things that are being run by all of our elite level coaches. So your kid, even if she's on a team with a less experienced coach, will have the opportunity to work with our top level coaches during the season. Yes, with a Coke. I love Coke. It is absolutely my jam. It's just whatever that one is with the black label, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
We have to fix that, Jeff. We have to fix that.
I got you. But I'm a Coke. I'm in. I'm 100% Coke. So for sure. Well, Coach Snatchin, I got that. Is there anyone I can talk to that would be able to answer some of the personal questions for? Yes, if you will. I think you've emailed me, but if you'll email me again, I'll send me your phone number and I'll give you a call. When you said the club provides housing, do you mean actually pay for it? No, the housing is not covered in your tuition. We will provide blocks of rooms. Like if you're going to go play in Knoxville, we will call the hotels in Knoxville, will block off 12 rooms or whatever for your team. And then we'll send you that list. And then you've got to call the hotel and put your credit card down in order to reserve the room. That's what I mean. But yes, you pay for it. And that is the same at each level. We don't cover the ATL doesn't travel. Premier only travels a little bit. National travels a little more. Elite travels a little bit more. But you guys pay for your housing at each of the levels. Can you explain positional training is only for current Tsunami players? If not, how do you know which one to sign up for? Positional training is their positions involve outside hitters, pins, DSs, middles, setters, whatever. And so those we run those clinics. They're on our website by position. So if you are a middle hitter, you sign up for the middle hitter clinic, and they are available. They're open to anybody. to come in. Certainly, if you play within the club, that was part of our intent was those kids come in. And so then but we're open to people from the outside. That's one of the ways we learn about new kids as they come into our clinic. So we're absolutely welcome them. Let's see here. Our coaches are paid. Yes. If you were on the team of the previous year, do you have to try out again? Yes. You do have to try out again. We will use your previous year's worth of what you did this past year as part of the equation of what's going into July. So that works in your favor in that if you had a great year, then you had a lousy tryout, we're not going to forget that you just had a great year. But you do have to try out again. All right, where are we now? How are we doing here? I'm still looking at this slide. It's my favorite slide. But I'll give you guys something else to look at. That was COVID year. That was a tough one. We still had 8 kids go. This is my other favorite right here. Penn State, UCF, Furman, bunch of local, LaGrange, Middle Georgia. That's good stuff. All right, what else? All right, so I'm still here. You guys are still here. I'll answer any questions you have. If you want to unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was the one that asked the question. I'm looking on the website at positional training, and I see elite, national, and advanced, but I don't see the positions. How do you know which one if you're not a current Tsunami player?
Got it. When you go into the registrations, it should let you pick that you're a middle, and then it'll, as part of the registration, you should drop down, pick your position. It should, or it'll say that at this time it's for this position. I'm not looking at it. Sorry, my laptop's doing something else. But it should say on whatever Saturday at 2:00 it's a setter clinic. And so when you go to sign up, you're signing up for a setter clinic. But that should be on that registration. If it's not, then please let me know. Coming off last year, if the whole previous team tries out most, will they let others have a chance on the team, or they just have more than 12 players? All right, so our teams are not made in advance, except when we do have groups of kids that will come together, and they come to us with 12 kids, and they just say, we want to play together. And if they do that, it's not part of the tryout process. Those 12 kids can just come. And then we will assign them a coach and a practice schedule, all that kind of stuff. That's not a tryout process. That's just 12 kids from the same school that want to play together, or good friends that want to play together, or whatever. So that does happen on occasion. Other than that, everybody has to try out. So we go into tryouts knowing that, I coached 12-1 this past year, going into 13s this upcoming season. I know those 12 kids. And so they certainly have a history with me going forward. Not all of them will be on our 13-1 team. They will not be moving up as a group together. There will be other kids that come into that mix that are going to have to be good. Now, I will tell you that if a kid played for us last year and a new kid comes in and they are exactly the same, I'm going to take the Tsunami kid every single time. But if the new kid is better, then the new kid gets the spot. So it's just, the tryouts are tryouts. For sure. It is not no one is guaranteed a spot. All right. So you mentioned being out of the country during all of tryouts and makeups, et cetera, being an exception this year. Would you advise avoiding July for vacation in the future? If you play club volleyball, we usually plan a year ahead. Sadly, yes. Because it's going to be, I can tell you what the Southern region is going to do from now on is the last day of nationals, the next day is going to be the tryout day, and we're all going to have tryouts on that day. It's just going to stink, but it's the way it's going to work. So the conversation probably should be with your high school coach that, hey, this is what's going on. Try not to start running the high school stuff right away to give you time to have a vacation. But we'll do the exact same schedule of tryouts that we've done right now. So like the elite teams are going to go first, the elite national will go first, and then the premier teams and the ATL team. So you can kind of see what the tryout schedule will be next year once you know what the national schedules are. Yes, nationals typically end, like this year, the last one is July 6th. And so July 7th is when we're starting our tryouts. Okay, so the season starts just for those of you who have played club before. Our season is going to start at the same time. We're going to do stuff in July and August, September, but we're not going to start practicing until October, and then for the older kids after the high school season's over. We want to support your high school. We want to support your high school programs. So like I said, most of us coach. Most of us are involved in it. So we're involved in high school ball, and so we're not trying to circumvent that at all by any means. Cool. And again, this whole thing will be on our website on the tryout tab. So you guys can scroll through and see what you need to see when you want to see it. All right. What else you have for me? You guys are welcome to unmute yourselves and yell it out or type it in. Either way.
Hi, Jeff. If your daughter wants to try out wants to do some of the positional training this summer, and you're not exactly sure, like if she should do Premier versus National versus Elite, do you have any advice on that? I mean, she played with you all this year,
Okay.
but we're not really sure where we should have her try some of those positional trainings since we're not
Okay.
sure.
Sure. So my first conversation would be to recommend that she speak to her coach. And
Okay.
if that's just ask, hey, where do you see me next year? And they'll give you, because they've worked with you. If that
Okay.
doesn't work, then sign up for some of the camps and clinics, anything else to just get in, or just guess
Okay.
the first one. Go under, like if you think maybe Elite, sign up for the National, and then we'll tell you, hey, you really should be at the higher level or whatever, or not.
Okay.
So that's that.
Because right now she's saying Premier, but I'm thinking let's try National, and if they can tell you that doesn't work, but you can go to Premier if that doesn't. So, okay.
Yep. So once you're in the gym the first time at one of these things, we'll give you all the feedback that you want.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. So I saw 13 Elite was on Saturday and Sunday for Child's Speech. You mentioned on one day. So 13 Elite would only be one day. Let me go back to the trial schedule. The second day would be a makeup day. So 13 Elite is Saturday, July the 8th. Then there is a 13 to 18 Elite and National makeup on Sunday from 9 a.m. to noon. So you need to be there on that Saturday. All right, what else you guys have for me?
What if we can't make it on the tryout day?
Okay, so there will be if you're going to be out of town, there will be a link on our tryout page where you can put in all the information about your child. You'll upload a headshot. You'll tell us where you're going to be. You'll tell us what position she plays, where she's played, her resume, all that kind of stuff. And then be in the gym in May and June, and we will upload all of the evaluations from all of our camps and clinics. We'll upload them to that spreadsheet, and then we'll put you on a team at tryouts based on what we have in that spreadsheet. Now, it is always better to be at tryouts, but if you can't, and I know a lot of people already have, vacations have already paid for and that sort of stuff. And so we understand. We will do our best to put you in the right spot. So that's that. So the thing that we missed, I mentioned this earlier, this is not so that you can go try out at other clubs. If that's your thing, you just need to own that and go do that. If it's because you're going to be out of town, or you got other obligation that's outside of volleyball, then we will do our best to put you in the best spot. And we will do that based on what happens in May and June in our gym. Does that make sense?
Sorry. Yeah, it makes sense. Is that form already on the online, or it'll be coming?
It will be. It is not there yet. It will be put online on probably not next Monday, a week from Monday, but maybe as early as this Wednesday. I know we started on the form. I just it depends on when Amanda gets back in town. So probably a week from Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can you attend more than one level of positional trainings? Played Premier for the last 2 years. We're trying out for Elite National this year. Yes, you can. What we want you to do is, sign up and get in the gym and start, and then talk to us. Typically, if you're a national level kid, you should be with the national level kids. If you go down to the Premier, typically you're a little, a little bit better than that level, and sometimes it's tough to teach the higher level kid at the same time as the kids who don't have as much experience. And then vice versa. Or if you're the one that's kind of a drill killer, we don't want you dragging the drill down either. So you can, but you just have to understand if you're down a division, that you're probably going to be one of the better kids in there, and you just need to focus on you getting better and not worry about any of the other kids. So yes, you can absolutely sign up for more than one level of position if you would like. What else for me? What else do you guys have for me? So there's still 47 of you here, so I'm sure there's some more questions. Anybody? All right. Well, I'm finished. I've said everything that I needed to say. If you guys have any other questions, you can reach me at info@tsunamivolleyball.com. Either Heather or Dunn or myself will answer that email. Or my phone number's all over the website. Heather's phone number's all over the website. So what clinic would you suggest if the player needs help with serving? We're going to put up some serving clinics. And so you sign up for the serving clinics. Is the 15 Premier the same as ATL? No, Premier travels a little bit more than our ATL levels.
Jeff?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we ask a question? Oh, sorry, I couldn't get to chat. My daughters are playing 11 Elite. We're going to nationals. The train for tryouts look like two of them are while we're away. One of them is like the Monday when we get back. So they would only maybe possibly make it to one of the train for tryouts. Is that okay? Because we're going to visit my dad for Father's Day in Ohio after Minneapolis.
Sure. Yeah, and that's our biggest issue right now with the region, with the way they're doing this is, like I said earlier, we got 52 teams that are still training. It's hard to run a train for tryouts when I've already got your kid in the gym 3 nights a week. But yes, it is fine. And then we will do so. She'll get the 11s will be part of the invite sessions. I'll be running those because I coach 12s. So that you'll have some other opportunities that are not currently on our website to get your daughter in the gym.
I signed the twins up for some of the positional, and I think the camp on the 6th or 7th, but I just didn't know about the train for tryouts, how important that was.
It's fine. It is, all of that's important. The more she can be in the gym, the more, the more vision we get to have with her. But she's in the gym with us 3 times a week. So, or whatever Gabriella's practicing right now. So
their birthdays. Their birthdays are July 3rd for Alexa and Avery. Is that we wanted to say for their graduating year? I think you touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, I did. The standard answer is play your graduating year, unless you don't
that's what we want.
Unless you don't make the team that so graduating year is 12. If she doesn't they don't make the 12 one team, and then there's then look at the 11-1. Maybe you stay down, but you get to have that decision at that point.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, what else we have for me here? All right, Ashley, what can you suggest a player needs help serving? Victor Mir saying, can you attend more than one level? So I'm caught up with the chat. My daughter's a 7th grader who made team, but we'd be in South Africa. You said reach out directly. You'll okay, got it. If I only see one number on the website, we're sure not. Okay. I don't see 15 ATL for tryouts. Is that not an option? At our South location, we do not run a 15 ATL team. I think I removed that from the information, but it may be if it's up there, I apologize. We do not run it at 15 ATL. We just run ATL teams at 14 and under. 14 and under at our South location. Sorry, I'm trying to answer some of these texts that are texting me individually. Okay, what else? Going once, going twice. All right. All right, going 3 times. So, all right. So I'm gonna end the meeting. I appreciate you guys being here. My phone number, my email address, everything are on the website. You can, the info at Tsunami Volleyball comes to me, comes to Heather, comes to Don. You can reach us. I appreciate you guys being here. Sign up for tryouts, please, please, please. The earlier you do that, the better off it is. You'll get more information because we'll email everybody as we go. And I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. Just let me know if we can do anything else. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Good night, y'all.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.